Good afternoon, everybody. I have 12:30, so let's, in the interest of everybody's timeliness, let's please get started. I'd like to call the May 2nd, 2025 meeting of the Merit System Board of Directors to order. And just make a statement that we have a quorum. So moving to the agenda. Is there any additions that anybody wants to make to the agenda? Are there any deletions that anybody wants to make to the agenda? Okay, hearing none, we'll set the agenda as posted. First item, approval of minutes of the January meeting. I would entertain a motion, please.
Move for approval.
Thank you, Ms. Vaughn. A second?
I'll make a second.
Ms. Willis. Any discussion on the minutes? Hearing none, call for the question. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Thank you. Excuse me. Next item is the approval of the minutes of the Gabriel Loya hearing on February 24th. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Any second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Hearing none, call for the question. Signify by, if you approve, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so moved. Thank you. Third item is the request for approval of KCSO job descriptions. So is somebody going to speak to this? Thank you. Please identify yourself, sir.
Stone Gentry.
Thank you.
Now I'm here in regards to changing one of the job descriptions for my department. It's for the pretrial police lieutenant. It's moving to non-certified.
Any questions for him?
What does that mean, non-certified?
It was originally listed as pretrial lieutenant with certified, which means that they were a certified officer. It's moving to a corrections position.
And what do you mean by certified is post-certified?
Yes, sir.
Attendance to an, attendance to an academy, is that what you're referring to?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Any other questions? Hearing none, motion to approve.
Move for approval.
Second,
Second.
all in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And we have looks like we have 3 additional job position descriptions to, well, Chief.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Assistant Chief Deputy Matt Evans.
Which would you like first, sir?
We do certified court security officer.
Thank you. And this is just a modification, sir?
It's a modification changing from a job grade of a 7/8 instead of a grade 8, and also adding a requirement for the grade 8 completion of the field training officer program.
Any questions for the chief? Excuse me, Assistant Sheriff? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion. Anyone?
Make that motion.
Thank you. A second? Second. Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Sheriff?
The next position is senior patrol officer.
Thank you. Is this a new position, sir?
It's a new position, yes.
Any questions for the Assistant Sheriff? Hearing none, call for the motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Thank you. Need a second, please?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved.
And the final position is the master patrol officer. This is also a new position, and it's just building off of the senior patrol officer.
Thank you. Any questions for the assistant sheriff?
Why are you, adding this position?
This is intended to be incentive for officers that want to stay in the patrol division, not necessarily being promoted or going to supervisory route or going to the detective route. So it gives some incentives and also provides requirements of additional training, so trying to produce a better product to give a better service.
So retention.
Retention, and then also providing them some monetary incentive as well.
Wonderful, thank you.
Any further questions for the assistant sheriff? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Move for approval.
Second, from anyone?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call for the question. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you very much, appreciate your time.
Thank you. Next item is the eligibility requirements, 6.1.3F. It's the eligibility requirements regarding military discharge. Is there someone from the sheriff's office that wishes to address this? Thank you.
I believe this had to do with a couple of applicants that have come through. Are you guys aware of the situation in regards to those applicants and their military?
We were briefly told that it was potentially because of the lack of participation in the vaccination program.
Yes. So that's what we were told as well. So I know that they put it on the board to make a decision on this. The sheriff's office would just like to request that the board require official documentation in regards to that misconduct.
Would this be the only circumstances that would be examined if we were to make a recommendation to the commission about this? Is that what you're asking? Because it sounds like a narrow approval request. Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, if it goes before it's come before the board to decide. So apparently the disposition was honorable on the DD 214.
Okay.
But in the notes on that DD 214, it advised that it was due to misconduct, serious misconduct. So I think that's what the board's deciding on today.
Okay, so the,
We would only request that if you approve it, we request that you would require documentation.
Do you not require documentation now? Do you request like the DD 214 when they're applying if they have a
It
military
initially
discharge?
goes to the merit system first.
so I'll ask staff, when you receive a DD 214 that has this kind of a wrinkle on it, do you have the applicant contact the department they served with or the
Well,
military service to provide the circumstances?
this has never come up until now. We've never had this issue of having it.
Okay, well, let me interrupt you for a minute. Would that be the course to direct the applicant to provide the
Yes,
supplemental?
yeah, I mean, if that's what we needed to get from them,
Okay.
then we would, yeah.
So, I'm just thinking out loud here, if they provide the documentation, because this sounds like a little bit of sleight of hand by whoever was typing up the DD 214. We're gonna give you an honorable, but we're gonna put this in there just to give you some fun in the future, which,
And the sheriff's office is not saying that they shouldn't be eligible. We're
Right.
not saying
but
that.
you've got to address that, sure.
I thought it did.
No, I was talking about the applicant has to address it.
Yes, yes.
Because the verbiage that they put in there is interesting.
And
Because
so we're not saying that they shouldn't be eligible, we're just saying that we would ask, because it does say serious misconduct on
Right.
there, that they require documentation as to why it has that on there.
Because the term misconduct is a finding in military, that is a finding. And that's very interesting that whoever typed that in there is well, we can editorialize about it, but anyway, the point is, if they provide, so I'm getting clarification, if they provide supporting documents that it was COVID, then that addresses the issue.
I'm assuming, yeah, I mean, I'm
Well,
assuming
no.
that, because, the way it looked on there, it just says serious misconduct. It doesn't say
Okay.
for what reason. So if we had a reason
Okay,
to do that.
I
Myers,
feel like,
go ahead.
I feel like it's a sign of the times. And, you know, as an employer, if I was providing a DD-214 that said that someone was honorably discharged, regardless of the notes, if it's an honorable discharge, I would accept that.
So you did not accept these two, is that my understanding? I guess I'm looking at the mayor and council staff.
Right now, no, we haven't moved forward with them, they're kind of in limbo waiting
Yeah.
to see what they're gonna decide, because the verbiage on the post says anything less than honorable, and since it is honorable, do we go to the next step of the misconduct, or do we
Well-
waive that because it was an honorable discharge?
Yeah, if you look at the standard, as Willis just stated, it's honorable, and they wanna put this little footnote in there, which, as I said earlier, we can editorialize about it. I'll hear from the board, but what do you have any comments, Mr. Vaughn?
I mean, I agree with the comment in regards to getting a note or more information specific to the serious misconduct. Because again, the honorable discharge, but want to make sure the safety, but also the name and the recognition of the sheriff's department is important to us, Knox County citizens, and also those we bring in. We want to make sure that we do a full vetting process. I agree with having an additional step taken to find out more, at whatever level that we can, specific details, because with the serious misconduct, even that word serious, to me, would be more worth than doing some fact finding around that and then moving forward in the process. That's just my thoughts towards it.
Any other board members want to add their?
Yeah, my thoughts on it, kind of along the same line, but it's an arbitrary decision. As long as it's just based on COVID, it's got to be fine. But, you know, if somebody says it's something, you know, serious, but that's dependent upon the person filling out the form, whether, you know, what the actual,
It
the
can't,
seriousness is.
it can't be that serious if they're still willing to give it an honorable discharge.
Correct.
And I mean, I've not been in the military, but I've had to attempt to obtain documentation. I'm not sure, I mean, there may be, but I don't know how much documentation someone would be able to provide that supports that. I mean, usually you get the DD-214, that's about all you get. I don't know if in this case that person would be able to get more. I mean, it's worth asking.
But if there isn't any additional documentation available, as long as they have that honorable discharge, these things should be sustained.
And my comment was really talking about the reputation that we have already with our sheriff's office, which is highly recognized and highly respected reputation. So it wouldn't hurt, even if it's not, like we said, serious or whatever, it is honorable discharge, but it wouldn't hurt to see if you can find the additional information and then verify that way. That was my primary comment towards that.
Any other comments from the board?
Thank you.
Oh, I wasn't done, but thank you. Go ahead and stand by for a second.
Okay.
So, hearing the sense of the board, the direction to the staff would be to have the applicant provide an explanation that can be verified. Is that reasonable, Myers?
Yeah, I mean, my input is the cardinal rule on construction of statutes or rules is to follow and first to ascertain the intent of the legislature and follow that intent from the word. That's my input.
Thank you. So, it's incumbent on the applicant to provide the information. It's not incumbent on the the appointing agency to ascertain the information. I mean, I did these, back when I had brown hair a long time ago. And it would be, I would just tell the person that had a prior military record, hey, there's something in here and you've got to provide. And they would contact the big repository in St. Louis and get whatever they needed to get. Because they do keep your service file. It's not that everything gets, destroyed. I mean, they've got citations and so on and so on. So there should be documentation as to the reason behind that. It is rather harsh to put those two words in there and have it still be an honorable, which causes me to be highly suspicious of why that was done. But as you said, the sign of the times. So basically, do you need some kind of motion direction from us, or what specifically are you asking for?
I don't believe the sheriff's office put this on the agenda. The merit system
Okay,
did.
thank you, I'm sorry, I misunderstood. Okay, thank you. So is staff asking for direction on this from the council?
Paula was asking interpretation,
Okay.
and she agreed that it's up to you all,
Okay,
instead of her.
so this looks like a spaghetti sandwich to me, kinda. That's good. Okay, so we're trying to put this into a succinct motion. I'm a little concerned to be issuing edicts to staff on specific circumstances because I rely on you to do a competent investigation in concert with the sheriff's office doing theirs. And if this is a wrinkle, I don't know if you need specific direction from the council. Just do due diligence and do what you do. I mean, Sheriff, would you have any input on this, sir? Do you have any idea? I'm kind of looking at this, that the directions or the expectations there. This is just a kind of a curveball, and I'd really hate to enumerate it as specifics being so narrow.
I lean towards, looking at the honorable discharge.
Yeah.
To me, that's the most important part,
Right.
the qualify for the honorable and the DD 214. We just don't want anyone automatically excluded
Right.
because of those two words that are included on the
Right.
DD 214.
Right.
So if there's a way, even if we could verify through the applicant, to get more information, or if the merit board could do that on the front end during the application process before it gets to maybe an interview.
Some type of explanation. Okay.
Just from our opinion, I don't think we need to automatically exclude just for those two words.
I agree with you. Thank you, sir. What would you like as, you want something enumerated as a motion, or? Go ahead, Myers, I'm sorry.
Pardon me, the question came up specifically with one of these gentlemen that had applied, and Paula understood that question about misconduct deep within the DD 214 as being probably disqualifying him. So the question she had was, once it's an honorable discharge, you can go to that. You can go past honorable discharge. And that's one reading of this. So instead of her deciding it in that situation, she asked the board to help her make the right decision.
Okay, so should we use serious misconduct on an honorable discharge as a disqualifier? That sounds like a motion. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you, sir.
Well, I think it's more or less a comment, but
Okay.
I think everyone's kind of agreeing to, with the consensus, is that we shouldn't move the goalpost from honorable discharge and give
Right.
too much discretion to the supplementary language of whatever the notes are on the DD 214.
Sure.
I don't think I have a problem with doing anything so long as we can keep the goalpost where it is, because what will end up happening is it's almost too much discretion within 613F. And if the misconduct is, I guess, substantial enough, it would run contrary to, I'm sure, another part of the code, right? That would be an additional disqualifying factor. So I don't know what I'm saying is I don't know if there's much to even do other than just try to keep the goalpost where it is.
I don't think you move beyond the honorable.
Well, I appreciate staff bringing it to us because I would much rather you eye on the side of caution because as Mr. Vaughn said earlier, you give this person a gun and a badge and they do something bad and we go through the file and we have this in their file and we go, oh, was this an indicator that we missed? So I think you're doing the right thing. You just are examining it and putting it under scrutiny and have the applicant explain it because it's, it's kind of it's almost like a little pink, slapping them. Here's your honorable discharge, but we didn't like what you did over here. So we're not going to get an explanation from the person who filled out that form, but it seems like they wanted to kind of follow, which is not really appropriate, probably, if they served honorably. So I think we'll leave it to where you just basically seek input from us or myself or whoever's in this position. Okay? Is that horse dead enough? Okay. All right. We're moving on. Okay, discussion of promotional assessment process. I'm gonna turn over the time, or excuse me, let me before we do that, I apologize. I want to do one last item that actually it's just a notice. If you're not aware, there was some litigation that was filed with Mr. Valiant when he was a member of this panel, and that action has been dismissed. So I just wanted to make you aware of that if you're not. And that was just a notice. It wasn't any type of comment or anything. Okay, so so the last item is the discussion of promotional assessment, and I'll turn over the time to Mr. Creighton.
Thank you. Just briefly, since I've been a member of this board, I've been afforded the opportunity to be a part of a number of promotional boards for the sheriff's employees. And in that time, I must say that the employees are outstanding men and women who are extremely dedicated to their job, the department and people of Knox County. With that said, I must say that there is a noticeable difference in the skill and education levels and the degree of preparation on the part of employees seeking advancement. The majority of the interviews that I've been on are normally 5 to 6 minutes interview process involving 3 to 4 questions, with the first question usually always hire date and assignment. Realistically, I think this process is perfunctory at best, as it does not afford the employees the opportunity to showcase his or her job knowledge, current abilities, past job performances, educational pursuits, or career expectations. The promotion rating sheets used are pass-fail only, without any numerical scale that would indicate excellence in categories. This means all who pass are thrown into a pool of names without anyone not involved in the interview process being able to distinguish the least prepared, least experienced, least educated from the opposite end of that scale. Law enforcement is a profession in which training requirements are demanding. The promotional requirements and processes should be as well. Promotional processes should reflect the capabilities of the individuals as advancements are made in technology, the law, and societal demands. While certainly a window into the current state of the employees and agency, the promotional process should be a harbinger for a bold and best possible blueprint for the future of both. I believe that the current process unfairly shortchanges the employees and is in need of review.
Thank you, Mr. Creighton. Does anybody have any further comments on this? So your request is to review the process, and what I'd like to do is to create a subcommittee that would address this, and of course, conversation with members of the sheriff's office, and most probably have the employee representatives at the tables so we can get their input. They're obviously a stakeholder. And I'd like 2 other members of the panel to be willing to serve on this subcommittee with Mr. Crichton. And I would take anybody's job application at this point.
I would be willing to serve on
Ms. Willis has volunteered.
I'm also willing to serve on that.
Mr. Gates, thank you. Okay, so we'll have a subcommittee, Mr. Crichton as the chair, and then your, would have to be, it would be noticed, the meetings would be noticed. So first meeting, what I'll do is the 3 of you can get together and decide on the meeting, preferably within a month, and then staff can notice that it's on the, so it's agendized and it's a public meeting, and here or someplace that allows for the community to be present. I would ask staff, once the date is identified, if you would reach out to the 3 employee representatives. I'll ask you to cooperate with the members of the subcommittee, whatever information they're asking for to be collated, so that way, if we're going to reach out to different agencies and look at different testing processes. So is that sufficient, Mr. Crichton?
Yes, it is, thank you.
Okay, is there any other comments on that? Is there any further business for the board? Hearing none, we stand adjourned. Thank you.